Gentlemen, children of all ages, Jokers of Us Gaming, proud to present to you Game 4 of the ALCS. Blue Jays baseball right here on the show 24. I'm your host, the one true Joker. Today, it's do or die for the Houston Astros. They must win 4 in a row to advance the World Series, but the Jays just have to win today. Basically, they just have to win one game to get to the World Series, where they could face either the Philadelphia Phillies or the Houston or the Atlanta Braves, I should say. This game, of course, will be played at Maid Park, where the roof is open and it's an overcast day today. Alex will be the pitcher. Joey Votto and Austin Wells will come in today's game, with Whit Mayfield coming in for Davis Snyder. Let's see how the lineup will be stacked. Alright. You see the lineup, the pitchers, and now the updated playoff pitcher. Atlanta is one game away to go get possibly the Blue Jays for the second time in their career. We now take you to John and Chris.
We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Houston Astros. With my partner Chris Singleton, I'm John Schaub. Plenty of storylines taking shape in this series as we set the stage for Game 4, Chris.
Well, the number one thing to discuss is just how lopsided this series has been. You get to this point of the season, Bogan, you expect both teams to be on pretty even ground. It's not played out that way at all. And when a team takes care of business with such dominance and gets out to a 3-0 lead, I just can't see this series lasting much longer.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. But hey, coming back to win the series has been done before. First pitch coming your way next.
Gonna be quite a tough task for Houston, though.
Just about set to go now. Starting on the mound in this one, Christian Javier. What should we keep an eye on here?
Try to stay back for that power changeup. Speed differential between the fastball and the changeup is huge. Hitters, they have a hard time staying back.
Ready to go, and it'll be George Springer to step to the plate. As he turns on the rubber, and with that good live arm delivers. Out to center. And there's one down. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. This is a veteran-led lineup right here. A lot of players with plenty of experience singing.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Boog. These guys have been around with the game for a long time, and they may not have the flash that they once did, but they've got the wisdom to be able to understand different situations, be able to think with the opponent and sometimes in front of the opponent. And you always seem to see a team like this. They come to the ballpark, they know how to get down to business, and they understand what the job is at hand.
Swing and a miss. Him out. Pulled the string of the changeup. Pulled Bichette up to the dish. Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. Tucker makes the catch, hitting over.
Even with the overcast.
No
No problem.
Now a chance for Jeremy Pena. And a pitch. Little chopper rolls foul. And the righty deals. Late swing foul ball. Kicks and deals. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Slider got him for strike three. Jake Myers will hit next. And through there for a strike. Manoa, a former All-Star. He features a four-seam fastball, a slider, a sinker, and he works in a changeup. One out, base is empty. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Here tonight, an efficient start to the home first, 2 away.
Just overmatched on that fastball right there. It wasn't like he was set up for it by something off speed earlier in the at-bat. Just came right after him with 3 straight, and he had no answer.
2 down, nobody on. And a roll to the center field base hit.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Here's Kyle Tucker out to second. There's Bichette. And that is the inning. So the Astros lead 1, scoreless after 1. And we're back. Top of the second. And now here's the veteran DH, Bryce Harper. Javier back to work. On the inside corner for a strike. Let's talk about great individual postseasons. One that really sticks out to me is Ricky Anderson in 1989. He hit .441 with 3 homers and 11 stolen bases, leading Oakland to a World Series championship. Now it's Jose Ramirez.
Boog, I just love watching Ramirez play the game. He can swing it from both sides of the plate. He's elite with the bat, and he's honestly one of the least talked about superstars in the sport.
2 up, 2 down in the top of the second.
Man, when I think about great postseason performances, part of the top Cardinals Beltran in 2004. 8 homers and 6 steals in 12 games with the Houston Astros. He didn't even get to play in the World Series that year.
Popped up to the left, into foul ground. Makes the grab. And that is that. Nothing across here this half. Now to the bottom of the second. We're tied. 0-0. Back here at Minute Maid Park, we head to the bottom of the second. And stepping in for the Astros, Yainer Diaz. I wouldn't get too puffed up about that postseason extra base hit thing, Siggy. The all-time leader with 4 is Ken Holtzman. Pitcher, one of his hits was home.
Yeah, but I'm sure he was a position player though before he started pitching.
Swings and misses, struck him out.
Well, he made pretty quick work of him right there. You look at the sequence, everything down at the knees and below. Some guys are good low ball hitters, but right there, they clearly had a plan to pound that part of the zone, and he wasn't able to put up much of a fight.
Now it's Alex Bregman. And there's a foul ball. Bregman, multi-time All-Star, batting 6th in today's lineup, and he's one of the few players in Major League Baseball born in New Mexico. This to third. Roll over to bottom, and that quickly 2 away.
Well, off to a great start. He's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That can set him up to go deep into this game.
Chance McCormick in the box now. No balls and a strike. That one to first. Takes it himself. 3 up, 3 down. Inning over. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. We head on down to the top of the third. No score. Back here in Houston, with Merrifield up to the plate. Javier back to work. Fouled off he was late.
Well, these Blue Jays, as you probably noticed, haven't been shy at the plate at all. In fact, they've probably been too aggressive at times. I'm specifically talking about the first pitch. These guys are swinging more than 80% of the time, which is fine if you're scoring runs, but that hasn't been the case today.
Here's Kiermaier now. Throw to first.
He's good.
First offering. Runner goes. Pitch outside. Throw. Save.
Looks like the base runner had a pretty good feel on the pitcher's move. After that takeover, he was settled in and he took off right away. Nice job of stealing second.
Left-hand batter waits. And a foul ball. Righty to the plate. That one misses. 2-1.
2-0. 1 strike.
Hit on the ground to the right side. Dives, but it kicks off his glove. And he beats it. He's safe. Austin Wells next up for the Blue Jays. Check on the runner. Kiermaier back in. Here's the pitch. Runner on the go. That's in for a strike. Save and Zackin with a stolen base.
They are being real aggressive to put some runs on the board, get 2 runners now into scoring position. Excellent job of stealing second base and staying out of a potential double play. Now that can kind of backfire and kill your rally, but it worked out nicely. Now a chance to do some damage.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield. Now fly ball right center. Cover, sizing this one up. Drops into the glove. Both runners tagging. The throw is off the line. He's safe. On the board first, it's 1-0.
There you go. Nice little RBI there. It's a great at bat. Got the job done.
And the batter is George Springer. He's 0 for 1. And a foul ball left side. The pitch. That one missing inside.
George has a chance to put the Jays up by 2 here if he can connect.
Lifted in the
He
air,
does.
right center field. Tucker makes the grab. Runner takes for home. The throw is on the line and he's in the score. It's 2-0.
Well, that's a quality at bat right there. You know the situation. You need something in the air and deep enough, and that's exactly what he did. Good pass to the baseman.
And the batter now is Joey Votto. On the ground, right side. Moves in. But they get the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. But 2 runs for them, and they jump ahead. We head now to the home half of inning number 3. Blue Jays 2, and the Astros nothing. Back here in Houston as we go to the last of the 3rd. And stepping in for the Astros, number 28.
Well, the offense has gotten going, and a pitcher wants to go out there and have a real quick inning, get those guys back into the dugout so those bats can stay hot. Well, after putting on a nice inning on offense, got some runs across, this is where you look for the starter to go out there and have a shutdown inning. Don't give that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through this inning, get the bats back out there while they're hot.
Pitch. Hard ground ball, big stop. And the postseason success continues for him. Here's the former MVP, Jose Altuve. Nose one doesn't get the call. 1-0. is in for a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Slider misses outside.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
And he makes the catch. Back to the top of the lineup. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Jeremy Pena. Pitches in for a strike. It's 0-1. Late with the swing there.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
And here it comes. Hits and misses. That's a strikeout. And Chris, that's a way to neutralize his speed by keeping him off base.
And the defense breathes a sigh of relief because he puts pressure on everyone if he can put the ball in play. But that's how you do it. Keep him off balance, get him out of there, and deal with the next guy.
Springer racing after it. Snags it on the run. And the inning is over.
What a run by Springer!
Houston, they trail things here 2-0. Fourth game of the ALCS. And here is Bo Bichette. And that one in the air center field. Corrals it. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Bryce Harper. 0 for 1 so far. And first offering is fouled off. Righty delivers. Line drive into center field.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it, but in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Up the middle. Tosses the first. And Ramirez is set down. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom 4, and stepping in for the Astros, Yordan Alvarez. Foul ball there.
He's been pitching well. We'll see what kind of adjustment the hitters make this second time through the order. We'll know if he's got really good stuff in this one or not.
And the 0-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. At the belt fires. Foul ball, it stays 0-2. Left-hand hitter waits. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Line drive, and it stays fair. Kyle Tucker up next for the Astros. That's off the inside edge, and it's 1-0. And that's in for a strike.
One way to make a guy real uncomfortable at the plate is pound him inside with good velocity. Doing that right here.
That's in there, and it's 1-2. Lifted in the air out to left. He's under it. He's got it, and there's 1 down. Yainer Diaz up next for the Astros. That one fouled off. Pitch. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Tag. Out at second.
Well, I really didn't expect him to try to steal second base because he had a very standard lead at best. If you're going to try to get there safely, you've got to get more on that lead. You've got to get a better jump. That was the difference between being safe and out.
2 outs. A foul ball, he stays alive. And the pitch. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. That one back there. Pulls it in on the warning track. We go to the top of the 5th, and now it's Dalton Varsho. Varsho, 27 years old, and he's won a Silver Slugger in the American League. Yeah, first offering is fouled off. Absolutely crushed, and that one is going to win by a man down by the river. A massive home run. His second homer this series, and they add to the lead. It's 3-0. That was blasted.
Absolutely, no doubt off the bat.
Even more trouble for Houston now.
Let's break out the StatCast numbers. And Singy, it tells us this home run was projected at more than 450 feet.
Yeah, and not many players can hit home runs as far as this one. That's a special feeling, and I'm sure he was giggling a little bit as he was jogging around the bases. That was one heck of a swing he put on the baseball.
And it's fouled away.
Houston now needs 3 runs to just tie it.
Game 4 of the ALCS. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
Boom, went the dynamite for sure.
Ground ball right side, and that's just foul. And the right-hander deals. Fights that one away. The count remains 0-2. Nobody on, nobody out. We're at the top of the 5th. And there's a ball.
2 strikes.
And another ball.
2-2.
In the air out towards right center. Tucker sizes this one up. Makes the grab. 1 away. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Reached on an infield single his first time. Now misses the zone. Ball 1. Down, base is empty. Sharp grounder, that's through for a base hit.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. Couldn't get any air under him, but he smoked that ball back up the middle. Timing was just perfect. Got great wood on it, and just no chance for the infielders to help.
Over to Altuve. What a double play that was. Inning over. But the solo shot stretches their lead even further. It's now 3-0. This is the American League Championship. And we're back. John Shelby with my buddy Chris Singleton. It's set to get us started. Bottom 5. Alex Bregman. There's a strike in the knees.
Well, he's looking great so far. Helps when over 80% of your first pitches are strikes. He might be able to go the distance if he keeps this up.
Swing and a ground ball out to short. Fires across the diamond. And the leadoff hitter retired in the 5th. Chaz McCormick, the next to hit. 0 for 1. He grounded out in his first at bat. That one catches the zone, and it's 0-1.
This is the time you have to pull out every trick in your bag. They know the season is over with the loss. Things aren't looking great right now, but they're still in striking distance. They need to get something going real soon.
Got him looking for the strikeout. Called strike 3 on a fastball up in the zone.
Well, just excellent location on that inside fastball. Really locked him up. And as a hitter, it's not typically what you're looking for. You're trying to protect away and then in, so you can be a little bit tardy with 2 strikes. Hard to tell if he was fooled or if he thought it'd be called a ball, but either way, it's a really nice pitch.
Number 28 in the box here lets that one go for a ball. Smoke to right, but he's got it. Astros are down quietly. They trail in this one 3-0. Top of the 6th inning. Here's George Springer to start it off. Line and pitch. That one back up the middle and it gets through. And the leadoff man aboard.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. Timing on the swing was good, able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off.
Manager out of the dugout now, and it looks like we'll see a change on the mound. Christian Javier gives way, and we'll be back with their first arm out of the pen after a quick break. On the mound now, J.P. France.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna let him hit.
Kickoff move to first, and he's back in safely. Swing and a pop-off in foul ground. Diaz drifts towards it, and out number 1 on the ground.
Boy, that was a hanging breaking ball right there. I think he tried to do a little bit too much. Sometimes those eyes can get really big. I think his swing broke down as well, and that's what caused him to pop it out.
That's to third. Bregman over now to mid, and that's 2. One hit in the inning, but no one left. 9-1 and 2 scheduled to hit in the home half of the 6th. It's the Blue Jays 3 and the Astros nothing. Bottom of the 6th. Jose Altuve up to hit here. And the pitch. And that's downstairs and outside.
Well, these Astros just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Kicks and fires. Foul off. He was late. 1-2 now. Altuve waits. The pitch out there. And 1 out now.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher on the same page right now.
So the batting order turns over. Jeremy Pena now at the plate. Foul ball. Over there for a strike.
He's controlling things out there on the mound, not messing around at all. He's been in attack mode since the very start.
Lifted in the air, right field. And George makes the grab.
Number 6.
2 outs, bases empty. Next is the designated hitter, Jake Myers. That one pushed foul. A pitch. Struck him out looking. 1-2. Top of inning number 7. Here's Harper now. France back to work. And first offering is fouled off. The line to kick the pitch. Outside low. And it's 1-1. Double barrel action in the bullpen. Trevor Richards preparing to come on if needed. Pan getting cranked up as well. A pitch. Wouldn't chase that time.
2-1 the count now. He hasn't seen a fastball yet, but you've got to be ready to hit one because you doubt the pitcher wants this to go to a 3-1 count.
Comes the 2-2. That's there, Harper, frustrated. He's rung up on strikes, and he lets the plate umpire know. Here's Jose Ramirez. Absolutely crushed, and that one is going to win by a man down by the river. He hammers one out to right. His second home run of the series, and they add to their lead. It's 4-0.
First pitch hacking, and it paid off for him in a big way.
And a foul ball. One down, base is empty. In the air out to center. McCormick makes the grab for the second out. So digging in, Whit Merrifield. 1 for 2. Big swing and a miss. This one in the air right field. Tucker should have. And puts the squeeze on that one. And that is that. Jose Ramirez with the homer here. It's now a 4-0 ball game.
So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Houston needs 4 to make this a game again.
Back here in Houston, now it's Jordan Alvarez.
Notice how they're swinging too early or too late? That's a timing problem. They need to guess right on a few of those pitches, and I mean make an educated guess. When a guy's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes as a hitter, you got to be ready to hit.
And this one's a rocket to right. Way back there. Gone! That was blasted to the moon. His second over this series, and they cut it to the deficit. It's 4-1.
When you're working with this kind of velocity, it's so critical that you move the ball around, work quickly, and make sure that you keep.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. That's as far as Alec Manoah will go, and as he heads off, we'll step aside for a minute. Back with the new pitcher after this break. Aaron Luke on a pitch out of the pen here. Now at the plate, Kyle Tucker. Fastball for a strike. 1-1. Pitch. Gets a piece, and it stays 0-2. Kicks and deals. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. One run across in the frame so far, late here in game 4. Gets a piece, and stays alive. The 0-2. Good job to fight that one off. The 0-2. Stays alive. The 0-2. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
shoulder square to the plate and wasn't trying to overswing. I think that's the key for him to have success through the rest of this series.
Bregman stands in here, takes ball 1 low. On the ground left side, 6, 4, 3, double play. And the inning is over. But not before they answer back with a solo home run. It's now 4-1. You're watching the American League Championship Series on the show. We go to the 8th, and the batter now, Kevin Kiermaier. The right-hander back to work. Ripped on a line to center. Reaching for it, and brings it in.
Clearly ready to hit right there. First pitch of the inning hits a bullet. He just is one of those bad luck ABs.
That's out to center field. The corner calls it in 2-1. Back to the leadoff spot in the Blue Jays lineup. Here's George Springer. That's to third. Bregman. Oh, the throw is over his head. Caught in a rundown now. And they put the tag on him. That's the third out inning. The Blue Jays as they hold on to a 4-1 lead. On the bottom of the 8th, here's the center fielder, Chas McCormick. Pitch. And that one is lifted in the air. Kiermaier moving under it. And there's 1 away. And now the first baseman. Blue goes 5 feet 11 inches. He features a sinker, a cutter, a changeup, a slurve, and he works in a 4-seamer. Bases empty, 1 away. Here the bottom half of the 8th inning. And in looking, he's got to be frustrated with that call.
Well, definitely a borderline pitch right there. And he didn't look too convinced as he headed back to the dugout. You know, those are tough ones to let go as a hitter, but the human umpire calling balls and strikes.
Now it's Jordan Romano out of the bullpen.
So Jordan Romano will try to get the save and a trip to the World Series. There's a good chance they face Atlanta. Where if the Jays win, we will find out after this game who the Blue Jays will face in the World Series.
Altuve stands in now and watches strike 1.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the 9th with a 3-run lead, it should be a W.
The Jays are 1 strike away from the World Series.
Ground ball left side and foul ball. 2 outs, bases empty. They tried to get him to chase on a slider down and away. Got him by him for the peg. Astros go down 1-2-3 and they trail it.
Oh, sorry, that was the 8th inning. I thought it was in the 9th. Oh my God, what a mistake.
Back here at Minute Maid Park, we go to the 9th, and now for the Jays, Joey Votto. So they're making a move for a bat off the bench. Brandon Bell.
Looking for a little outside corner for that backwards K right there. I think the hitter saw it all the way, coming from that opposite arm angle. So I got to think he was looking away and just got locked up by the hard stuff boring in on his hands.
Looks like it'll be a pinch hitter, HOU.
Man, it must be nice to pull a superstar off your bench, huh?
Out towards right center field. McCormick has it sized up. He's got it, and there's 2 away. Bryce Harper to the plate. That one to right. Tucker makes the grab, and that's the inning. So they make short work of them there. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Top of the order, 2-up. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Astros 1. Staying in the game on defense, Brandon Bell. He pinch hit last half and now takes over at first. Game, Francisco Lindor. He's in at shortstop. So the Houston lineup turns over. Jeremy Payton digs in now. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. That's in there. And that strike from an all-star a season ago. He features a slider, a 4-seamer, and he works in a 2-seamer.
Well, I didn't like those first 2 pitches. Down an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. Hope he gets a mistake.
A little bit low.
It's a good take.
The 1-2. Popped up to the left. Into foul ground. Ramirez drifts towards it. Nabs it. And there's 1 down. Jake Myers up next for the Astros. On that fastball.
Sometimes a hitter will go up there and guess, and it's not just pulling something out of the sky, but expecting because of tendencies a certain pitch at a certain location, he just guessed wrong.
And a pop ball right side, foul territory. Bell calls it in, and there's 2 away.
Ball's just not carrying the first tonight.
Now you would actually say that to your teammate in the dugout?
No, I'm not that cruel, but someone would say it to me, and I'm sure it's probably been said before.
So Josh Hader gets the call to the mound.
Save opportunity for him right here, and he's their guy. Time to lock this one down and get out of here with a W.
Alvarez in the box with 2 gone, and takes a look at a called strike.
Here we go. Now is 1 strike away from the World Series.
One strike away. And the Toronto Blue Jays are American League champions.
Congratulations to the American League champions. These players have worked hard all season long, and their hard work has paid off. Now, off to the World Series. This team can't wait to get it started.
For my partner Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew, thank you for watching the American League Championship Series on MLB The Show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, This series is over. The Blue Jays have won the ALCS and is now the American League champions by beating Houston 4 straight. Alex Mahan will get the win, pitching 6 innings, allowing 4 hits, managing 7 strikeouts, and he only gave up 1 earned run. Christian Jarvis pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, managed 1 strikeout, and gave up 3 earned runs. Josh Hader comes in on the last batter. Alvarez, who was 3-4, to strike him out to get the save and a trip to the World Series with a 4-1 victory. The final stats for Houston: John Singleton goes 1-3 with a strikeout. Yana Diaz goes 1-3 with a strikeout. Kyle Tucker, unfortunately, was 0-3. Also, Averin was 0-3. Yana Diaz goes 3-4. He did manage the home run, which was the only run Houston scored in this game. But it was the Blue Jays' notable players from Whit Merrifield going 1-3 with a run. Kevin Kiermaier goes 2-3 with a run. Jose Ramirez would go 1-3 with a home run. And Dalton Varsho goes 1-3 with the home run. The player of the game actually goes to the pitcher, though, Alex Mahan. So once again, the final score is the Blue Jays 4, Houston 1, and Blue Jays win 4 straight over the Houston Astros to take on, who could it be? Atlanta leads the series 3-2 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Will we get the replay of the 1992 World Series matchup? Or could we see the 1993 World Series rematch? We're about to find out. But either way, the Blue Jays win this one 4-1. So now, the moment of truth. Who does the Blue Jays get in the World Series? Here we go. This will be today's game, Game 6. Atlanta at Philly, where Philly force a Game 7. And it is Atlanta. Atlanta has won. And now it's the Blue Jays against Atlanta for the World Series. Ah. So I might have Vladrill actually miss it. Can't put him in either. Damn. Alright. Oh, I did. Oh, there we go. So there is the lineups that will be played for this. And now the pitching. There you go. There is the pitching for this game, for the World Series. That will be the starting pitcher. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So game 1 will be Kevin Gosman. Game 2, and Nola. Game 3, Shomi Atani. Game 4, Justin Verlander. That will be the first 4 games of the series for the Blue Jays. For the Atlanta, it will be Spencer Strider, Chris Sale, Brandon Lopez, actually, if I you know what? Just in case. Now. Yeah, there we go. So, here's how we got here. Yankees won 2 straight. to beat Minnesota. They advanced to take on Toronto. Texas won 2 straight over the Kansas City Royals. They would go on to take on the Houston Astros. In the National League, Philly won 2 straight over Arizona. They would go on to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Milwaukee went to the 3-game setup, winning it 2-1. They would go against the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta would win 3 straight to advance, while Philly and LA went 5 games. Philly would advance, and Philly would face Atlanta. Toronto would win 3 games to 1 over the Yankees to advance, while Houston and the Texas Rangers went to 5 games, with Houston winning 3 games to 2. Then it was the Blue Jays at Houston, Atlanta at Philly. Houston lost all 4 games to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays would advance to the World Series, while Atlanta would win 4 games to 2 over the Philadelphia Phillies to advance to the World Series. And now this is where we're at. This will be the replay matchup of 1992 between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Atlanta Braves. First 2 games are in Toronto, next 3 are in Atlanta. So, who will beat who when it comes down to it? Who is the World Series champion of 2024? We'll find out on the next episode of Blue Jays Baseball here at the World Series. This game, of course, been brought to you by Jokers Us Gaming from the MLB Show 24. Until next time, this is the One True Joker signing out. And catch us next time with John, Chris, and the rest of the crew for the World Series.